welcome everyone to Game 3 of the first round of the Western Conference playoffs on EA Sports. From American Airlines Center in Dallas, tonight, the Dallas Mavericks playing host to the LA Clippers. Hi everyone, Ed Cohen with Jay Williams. Jay, you look at the Clippers coming into play. They held their ground in the first two games at their place. Now the test begins as they take the 2-0 lead on the road.
And you know, the first two games held the form, but now the series shifts. So this crowd is going to need to give them everything they can for an advantage. Even though this isn't a must-win, they need to play like it is because you don't want to be down 3-0.
Doncic to Redick. Has a chance. Off the mark. With defense like that, little margin for error.
Your contest was great because of your proximity to the player. You forced his follow-through to be cut short, which made him short-arm the shot.
Step back jumper.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Beverly into the front court. Just getting started in Game 3. To Paul George. Leonard, there's the toss. And now he's going to shoot a few more as he's fouled going up for it.
Trust me, you want to avoid early foul trouble. Take that one as a warning.
First try at the line, no good. Second one's good. Splits the pair. Here's Barea. A minute gone by here in the opening quarter. To Luka Doncic. Nothing going here on that drive. Serge Ibaka. Huge block. Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Marcus Morris. Redick. To Luka Doncic. Throws it up. Throws it down off the alley-oop pass. Jay, no question. There's an unspoken bond there.
Just on the same wavelength. And how about this? Sometimes a bad pass is a great pass when you have somebody as athletic as that can catch that anywhere and slam it down.
Here comes the screen. It's PG for two. The jumper's off the mark. Here's Barea. Leads three. Doncic. To Porzingis. Dallas with 4 to shoot. Porzingis. His first effort off the mark.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Leonard to Beverly. Here's Leonard for two. And he hits.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Doncic to Porzingis. Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him.
I agree. I thought there was a foul, but also it's all about your approach. You can't come down the lane and jump off one leg. It's called a power lift. Go off 2 legs and expect a contact.
Ibaka with the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
Here's Barea. Down a point. Porzingis to Luka Doncic. Cauley Stein powers it through.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Paul George missed his first. That one goes. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Won't go. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Here comes the screen. Shot from in close, no good. Here's Barea. Leads just a point. To Luka Doncic. Lobs it up. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. Driving right to the basket. My goodness, did you see that, Jay?
That's nasty. Don't, just disrespectful.
And that's going to be out of bounds off of George. It's going to stay with Dallas. Shifting gears. Here comes some substitutions. To Luka Doncic. Five seconds to shoot. To Lee. Lets it fly from long range. Textbook defense. LA Clippers with the basketball. Leonard to Beverly. Probing the defense. Beverly to George. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. George. Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. He's going to get 3 shots here. A career 84% free throw shooter. Can't connect on the first free throw. It's the second. One more coming. Doncic. The pass taken away by the Clippers. To Beverly. Out of bounds the call. Last touch by Patrick Beverly. Here's Barea. Down by 1. To Luka Doncic. Here comes the screen. Throws it down.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Leonard, deep right corner. Down low for Leonard. The shot rejected by Doncic. Mavericks with the possession. Courtney Lee against Paul George. To Porzingis. Doncic to Porzingis. Has a look. There's shot by Porzingis.
And that's how you close out on a shooter with a sense of urgency. The shooter was more worried about his landing space than he was the shot.
The drive right to the basket. Straight down the middle of the lane. Way to punch it home.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
To Luka Doncic. Down low, Cauley Stein. Oh, nice find for the basket.
Old school equals high percentage.
Paul George to Marcus Morris. Short jumper off the mark. Here's Barea. Leads one. To Luka Doncic. Here comes the screen. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. Lee. He engulfed him that time.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Baseline drive. Kawhi Leonard. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
I don't know what halftime evaluation will be worse, the ankles or the bruised ego.
Porzingis to Lee. Knocked loose. Getting dirty. Loose ball on the deck. George to Marcus Morris. Short jump and a putback slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
Now a whistle. Dallas will use the timeout as they'll discuss matters in what's now a 3-point game. Some lineup changes now for both clubs. To Richardson. To Lee. 5 on the shot clock for the Mavs. Lee. Message received. Well defended. Beverly into the front court. Up by 3. Kawhi Leonard. He's now shooting 5 for 7.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Boban can hit it. Beverly into the front court. Leads 5. That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
Richardson guarded by Patterson. On the shot clock for the Mavs. Trey Burke. He's too good to leave that wide open. Defense has to communicate.
That's what happens when you don't force shots. They were patient, they used almost the entire shot clock, and at the end, they got a wide open look.
Leonard. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Clippers. Looks like some substitutions are coming on in. Brunson to Richardson. Knocked loose. Love the hustle. Sprawled down on the deck. Beverly into the front court. Up 5. They'll get it down to Leonard. Using the post to his advantage there and the finish at the rim. Jay, this is getting scary fast.
If you're the defense, you have to deny him the ball. Maybe throw a box and one. Maybe throw a zone. Maybe even throw the kitchen sink because he's putting on a show in the first quarter.
Brunson to Porzingis. And the rebound comes down to the Clippers. Paul George sets him up, flushes down the slam. Jay, that's a strong connection.
And it's always about the play before the play. Look how the eyesight was able to connect between two players. We call that an eyesight contract, because when you have a contract that's signed, sealed, and then delivered like that, that's how great plays are made.
Beyond the arc for three. Rebounds taken down by Leonard. Kawhi Leonard won't go. Another shot stays out. Deep three at the buzzer. That's the end of one here in game number 3. Jay and I back with more after this. This is the first round of the West playoffs on EA Sports. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter.
The 2021 NBA Playoffs one-round games and highlights will be coming up next on Sports Group Bane 2021.
To Leonard. Trying to cash in, and he hits.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here, because that was not an easy look.
Dallas has it. Brunson. A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Pass stolen by the Mavericks. To Brunson. Yes, and a foul. Hell of a chance at a three-point play.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Milwaukee Bucks led Series 2-1 over Miami Heat in the 2021 NBA Playoffs one-round Season 8 games.
Free throw up and good as he finishes off the three-point play. The lead is down to 6. Clippers have the basketball. Surveys the floor. Goes reverse to lay it in.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
To Porzingis. Scores from the post.
Woo! Did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
Beverly into the front court. Up by 6. To Leonard. Beverly over to the right side. LA with 4 to shoot. PG lets it fly. That's no good. Dallas owns the basketball. Porzingis matched up with Patrick Patterson. To Richardson. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. Has a chance. Not that time. Beverly into the front court. Up 6. And the finish. Slam dunk. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Richardson to Redick. Here comes the screen. Redick. to Porzingis. Oh, too much contact. Free throws on the way.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Kristaps Porzingis. He's got 2 shots coming. For his career, 80% at the line. Oops, he missed the first one. No good. Missed them both. Beverly into the front court. It's an 8-point lead. Paul George, 4-2. That's what you come to expect. Your best players making baskets.
The great defenders, the ones that really earn their paycheck, or the ones that refuse to be screened. You stuck to that screen like Velcro.
Here comes the screen. Richardson turns and slams it down.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
It's LA Clippers ball. Here's Leonard for 2. Gets a look. Can't hit. Works it up top to Marcus Morris. The shot almost.
You know, Ed, everybody gives so much credit to the guy who contested the shot, but there's no way he's in that position without the communication of the backbone of the defense. When you have a guy back there who can block shots and tells you to apply more pressure, you know you're in a safe place.
Kristaps Porzingis able to recover with the block. Turnover gives them the possession. Brunson. Here comes the screen. Trey Burke against George. In the slam.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Leonard to Marcus Morris. Down low George. Got a piece of it.
Jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation. It's the Mavericks right now at the controls. A drive baseline, but the shot won't go.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like his mere presence in the paint was enough to make the offensive player miss the shot before he even got off the ground.
The Mavericks signal for timeout as they'll talk things over here in the second quarter.
Denver Nuggets led Series 2-1 over Portland Trail Blazers in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round season 8 games.
Time to adjust. Both
Los Angeles Lakers led Series 2-1 over Phoenix Suns in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round season 8 games.
Short jumper won't fall.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to give great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
Leonard to Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard slams it down. That has to feel deflating for the other side.
They really came out and made a statement so far in this first half. Another powerful dunk, but another easy dunk. When are we going to see some defense?
Brunson. Almost. Unlucky bounce. Beverly into the front court. His team on top by 8. Down low for Leonard. Nice pass to get things going.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Knocked loose. Clippers have it.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
That was such a great job by the offensive player. Knowing that you're probably going to take some lumps here and there, but still remaining aggressive throughout the shot and getting a crack at the extra point.
Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Josh Richardson trying to cash in on a three-point play. For his career, 78% at the line. And he missed the free throw. It's the Clippers with the possession now. Oh, good defense there as the Mavs take it away.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second
Utah
grade.
Jazz led Series 2-0 over Memphis Grizzlies in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round season 8 games.
If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
And the basket good at the rim.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Redick. Here comes the screen. To Redick. Nothing going here on that drive. Knocked loose. Clippers have got it. Leonard. Josh Richardson swats it.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
To Redick. Richardson. Deep 2 there, won't go. Here's Rondo with it. Lead stands at 10. To Ibaka. Leonard. To Marcus Morris. Shot clock winding down. He gets it.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Mavericks with the basketball. Take stock of the floor. Count the basket. 2 more points in the paint.
So many times you can tell if a player is going to finish before he even gets to the rim. Did you see that look on his face? That was a look of a three-point play. You always going in and think you can get more at the rim.
To Leonard. Serge Ibaka. That's 3 now on 4 shots. Now a whistle. Dallas will use the timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter.
New York Knicks led Series 2-1 over Atlanta Hawks in the 2021 NBA playoffs one-round season 8 games.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Doncic. It's the free throw. Doncic to Redick. Down to Cauley Stein. Working hard on the glass. Rondo into the front court. It's an 11-point game. To Leonard. Ball's tied up. Neither player wants to give it up. The official's ready. Let's see who can take the jump. George. To Leonard. George. That's off the side of the rim. No good. Doncic. Tough make through traffic.
There's no better feeling after a game after you had 25-plus assists and you won the game, and everybody recognizes that it's time for their bank accounts to get rewarded.
To Leonard. They love this hustle. Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him. Ibaka. Pass stolen by the Mavericks. Short jumper stays out. Rondo with the basketball. The lead stands at 9. To Paul George.
Brooklyn Nets led Series 3-0 over Boston Celtics in the 2021 NBA playoffs, one-round season 8 games.
Good look that time, but off the mark. Redick with it. 9-point margin. Luka Doncic slams it down. Good luck keeping up with that.
Did you see that jump? It was as quick as a pogo stick.
Into the front court comes Rondo. Looking to make something happen. Here comes the screen. To Ibaka. Serge Ibaka. Terrific shooting. He's 4 for 5.
There are certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
Redick. Screen coming. Has a look. Barea shot. No good.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
To George. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
Shot, bro.
Dallas with the possession.
I got ball.
Doncic to Redick. Knocked loose. Shot clock. It's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. Trying to cash in. Redick with a shot. No good. He'll let one fly from half court. So the two teams will head to the locker room as we reach the break here in game number 3. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at what went down so far in this one. The Clippers are up after 2 quarters. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaking. These are the guys getting buckets for the Los Angeles Clippers. The Mavericks would rather be on the opposite end of the scoreboard. Of course, they still have 2 quarters to turn things around, but it won't happen without making some adjustments. These are the guys getting buckets for the Dallas Mavericks.
First half stats. player of the half.
Kawhi Leonard and his court IQ were on display as he delivered the ball, putting his teammates in a position to score the basketball. His timing was impeccable.
Who was cold?
No one wants to be picked for this segment, but he couldn't avoid it. Maybe he'll turn things around in the second half. We got our top 3 plays for you. Check them out.
Number 2. Number 1.
And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
Here's Barea. His guys down 11. To Luka Doncic. To Redick. Going to launch beyond the arc. Defenders could lose sleep with this guy. J.J. Redick, well defended, still knocks it down.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Paul George to Marcus Morris. Oh, good defense there as the Mavs take it away.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort, it's off the charts.
To Porzingis. Cauley Stein to Luka Doncic. And scores on the step back. Unguardable Jet.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
To Beverly. George. Off the mark. He loves the tough shots, but that one may be too tough.
When I saw this team come out and warm up, everybody looked focused. They looked into the game before the game even started. I saw a completely different team at halftime. Guys were coasting around. Guys were talking to girls in the stands. Guys were playing around with the ball boys. They weren't focused, and it's showing up right now in the second half.
Another chance. Ah, missed it. How'd that not go down?
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like the mere presence of him in the paint was enough to throw off the concentration of the guy trying to drop the layup in.
Mavericks with the possession. To Porzingis. Redick. Oh, the whistle. Jay, take your hands off of me.
Just a tic-tac foul.
Doncic goes to the left side. To Luka Doncic. For 3. Luka Doncic, marked man. Shot altered and no good.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Beverly to Leonard. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Here's Barea. His guys trail by 10. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. To Marcus Morris. Shot from the lane won't go. Redick with it. He'll run the offense. Knocked loose. Clippers have it. Kristaps Porzingis snatching it out of the air.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Here's Barea. The deficit now up to 12. Redick. Here comes the screen. To Redick. Has a chance. scores.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
LA Clippers with the basketball. To Marcus Morris. Leonard. To Paul George. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. And Paul George good on the quick release there.
Yeah, and what we're seeing is a brilliant offensive display. You have ball movement, player movement, and great shooting to top it off. You get those three things going, you're going to be a dynamic offensive unit.
KP, Kristaps Porzingis. 3 for 6 now.
And if you don't contest, he's knocking that down with ease.
To George. Curling inside. George to the basket, but it won't go. Here's Barea. Down 11. Oh, highlight moves. Tough to pull off with the defender all over you. Willie Cauley-Stein with the block.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
Count the 2 for KP at the rim.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Driving right to the basket. From the outside, no good.
I'm not sure that the contest on the shot contributed to the miss, but what it might have done is seep into the confidence of the shooter that the next time he might decide to try to drive to the rim instead of settling for a jumper.
KP, Kristaps Porzingis. With that shot, he's 5 for 8.
In the last 10 sequences down the court, everybody's touched the ball. You don't see anybody with any kind of negative expressions on their face because everybody's eating.
Nothing going here on that drive. From the painted area, won't go down. Porzingis with the slam.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's a problem city.
Leonard. Dallas has it. Probing the defense. He wants to deliver to Porzingis. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
This is where I go back into player mode. If a dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
New blood coming in for both sides. Beverly. They get it to George. Down low. Scores from the post.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it. This year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
Richardson to Porzingis. Good. Off a spin.
And I have so much admiration for guys that continue to hunt their shot. They're playing the second half like it was the first 5 minutes of the ball game. Those natural-born leaders are guys that will consistently lead your team to the promised land.
Dallas owns the basketball. J.J. Redick. Consistent effort. He's at 50%.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Beverly. Tough shot and nearly a chance at a three-point play. No foul.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Burke with it. His guys down 3. To Porzingis. Able to convert inside. Beverly to Marcus Morris. Paul George. And stuffs it home.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Burke with it. They're down 3 to Porzingis. Joakim Noah tips it.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball. Especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offensively.
Porzingis with a shot off the mark.
Your contest was great because of your proximity to the player. You forced his follow-through to be cut short, which made him short-arm the shot.
Free throws coming up.
You got to know your personnel. That's not someone you want to send to the line for a free 2.
First free throw is good. And gets both to drop at the line. Burke with it. The deficit now up to 5. To Richardson. Knocked loose. Clippers have got it. George to Beverly. Fires the 3, and Patrick Beverly plays with so much confidence. Zero hesitation, knocks it down.
But it was how he created the shot. As a defender, there's a tendency to stand up when you stare at the ball. Offensive player recognized that, continuously moved without the ball. Bang, that's how he set it up.
Count the basket inside.
This may sound cheesy, but sometimes you just need to sit back, get a tub of popcorn, and just enjoy the show, because that's what you're watching right now.
Paul George. Josh Richardson. He has struggled just a little bit. 2 for 5.
If you're coaching against this player, you have to throw some fake traps, some fake schemes. How are you making this player think instead of just naturally reacting?
From long range, Paul George can't get that one to go. Defense all over him. Gets it in the left corner. Lee to Porzingis. Jumper's good.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
The drive, right to the basket. Count the basket. A lot of contact. No foul.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
To Porzingis. Fine to shoot. KP. It's good.
When I played, and I see guys do this all the time, when you shoot, the target isn't the basket. The target is actually before you even go into the shot. The target are your hands defensively. If your hands are down and you give me clear vision towards the bucket, that shot's definitely going in.
Burke with it. His group now down 2. Deep left corner. Lee to Porzingis. To Lee. That misses with a second to go. 3 quarters down. The fourth quarter coming up. The Clippers are out in front. The Clippers with the basketball as we begin the fourth quarter. We thought based on this matchup, this could be a one-sided affair. But oh, Jay, this has been a tight contest.
Yeah, they got the lead, but they've really had to work for it. And sometimes when you think you're going to have an off night and win the game by 20, that's when you find yourself in this league in those dogfights.
Nikola Batum. Small sample size, but making the most of it. He's 1 for 2.
Look at that, calm under pressure. You see a lot of guys rush those. Nice extra move there.
To Lee. Porzingis. Dallas with 4 to shoot. Can't miss those. Out of bounds the call. Last touch by Patrick Beverly. Brunson to Lee. Not shaken for the early struggles. Maybe this is a sign of things to come.
Ooh, is there a medic in the house? You need to get those ankles retaped ASAP.
Here comes the screen. Nothing going here on that drive. George lets it fly, unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
That might have been a little bit easier than expected there, considering the score.
To Brunson. Porzingis to Brunson. 5 on the shot clock for the Mavs. Porzingis for 2. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Kristaps Porzingis at the line for a chance at a three-point play. He struggled so far. The free throw is good. It's back to a one-point game. Clippers have the basketball. George to Marcus Morris. Kristaps Porzingis. Oh, that's out.
Out of here. It always looks cool, but guess what? You're still on D.
Coach is going to shift gears and adjust his matchups. Knocks it down off the step back.
Hi.
The defender needs to do a better job of forcing a pickup there.
Hi.
Doncic.
Hi. Ho.
Had a chance, but it's no good.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Nothing going here on that drive. Short jumper off the mark. Cauley Stein. Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket.
Woo, did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
It's LA Clippers ball. Paul George. Pass stolen by the Mavericks. Cauley Stein. Knocked loose. Clippers have it. To Nick Batum. Nikola Batum. Quiet night, but 2 for 3 in the contest right now.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Nothing
Welcome
going
to
here
the
on that
stream.
drive. He's going to the free throw line to shoot.
All right, that was a little bit of a gamble there, but not a terrible move sending him to the free throw line.
Shut.
Willie Cauley-Stein at the line for 2 shots. Career mark of 64%. First one goes down.
Shiny. MLB2 won the show.
Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair.
Shiny.
It's the Clippers with the possession now. George to Batum. Knocked loose. Picked up by the Mavericks. To Porzingis. No good.
After a miss like that, you at least have to rub your hands on your shorts. At least make it seem like the ball slipped.
Paul George to Ibaka. Serge Ibaka slams it down.
It's that easy, Ed. You never want to leave any doubt when attacking the rim.
Doncic goes to the left side. To Porzingis. Nothing going here on that drive. Can't connect from inside. Batum to Paul George. Strong finish for Paul George.
An easy 2. Get back on defense.
To Porzingis. Here comes the screen. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
It's George for 2. He buries it, creating space with the step back. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively, he makes those clutch shots. It re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Beverly into the front court. Leads 3. George to Ibaka. Batum to Marcus Morris. Paul George fires, doesn't even see the defender, buries the shot.
When the ball is in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
It's the Mavericks right now at the controls. Serge Ibaka sends it away.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Porzingis against George. Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Kristaps Porzingis. Time for some new personnel into the game. Beverly into the front court. Leads 5. Nothing going here on that drive. Shot from in close, no good. Porzingis to Luka Doncic. To Porzingis. Driving right to the basket. Redick. To Porzingis. Fires the 3. Well defended.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
To the rim, lays it up and in.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Paul George to Marcus Morris. Curling inside, Willie Cauley-Stein pins it. George on the drive, but his shot misses. Porzingis. And he's fouled. Earns a trip to the foul line, Jay.
Yes, I love this move. Send him to the line. Chances are probably good he doesn't make both. And you also stop the clock while getting another possession.
Nope. First one does not go. Missed the second as well. Beverly into the front court. Up 5 to George. Here's Barea. Looking to make something happen. To Luka Doncic. Redick. Shot clock winding down. Here's a chance from long range. Won't go down. George to Marcus Morris. Kristaps Porzingis with a piece.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Doncic. Down low, Cauley-Stein. And the reward, he's going to the line.
I've seen it happen so many times. Small things like that foul can end up becoming a momentum changer. Let's see how this one plays out.
First one, count it. Two for 2 on that trip. Here's Rondo with it. Up by 3. To Ibaka. Nice pace. Sets it up and slams it down.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Doncic. And he's fouled. Very close. Free throws coming up.
I'm watching the coach's reaction right now, and I'll tell you, he's not going to be happy about that. The game comes down to the micro details. That wasn't a part of the plan right there.
Willie Cauley-Stein. Couple of free throws on the way. Shooting 50%. Some yes, some no in this contest. And hits the first free throw. And he makes them both. Kristaps Porzingis sends it away to Paul George. Has a look. Knocks it down on the step back. That was not easy.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Here's Barea. The deficit now up to 5. Oh, great defense there, forcing the pickup. Down to Cauley-Stein. Goes reverse to lay it in.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Paul George. To Marcus Morris. George shakes free and hits.
Well, that change is inevitable. And one of the things that continues to fascinate me about this game, usually when you see a good three-point shooting team, their shoulders are square to the basket. That's no longer the case in today's game. These guys are off balance, they're moving different ways, yet they still have extreme shot-making ability.
George to Leonard. No good. Here's Barea. The deficit is 6. Doncic. To Porzingis. Curling inside. Serge Ibaka. Huge block.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
To Leonard. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. Leonard. That's how you defend. From the painted area, won't go down. It's the Clippers who come away with the victory. They've taken a commanding lead in this best-of-7 series. 3 games to none. 1 victory left. For my partner, Jay Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been the NBA Playoffs on EA Sports. Find out more at easports.com. Until next time, good night.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Clippers emerged victorious after a tight finish. I could get into detail about their play calling and shot selection, but let's be honest. We all know that the dunks were the most exciting. I'd be surprised if the rim isn't a little bit bent at this point. The Mavericks just couldn't close this one out. And even though they shot so well from the field, I bet they're only thinking about the shots they missed. This was a tough game to lose. Check out the leading scores for the Dallas Mavericks.
Game track. Field goals.
This was a matchup in which solid shooting was prominently on display. I definitely enjoyed it. Like I'm loving enjoying all of these highlights right now. Great job of effective, efficient scoring from these squads.
Player of the game.
Kawhi Leonard seemed to think he could only score points with dunks in this game. Again and again, he kept throwing them down, and it was just astonishing. Here are the top 3 plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again next time.